What's going on, everybody? Zach RC here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome along to episode number 20 of the F1 2021 Driver Career Series. If you have been enjoying the series so far, make sure to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button to stay updated. Remember to ring the bell to get notifications about any time that I upload. Thank you so much for all the support I've seen so far on the series. I mean, it's crazy that I've actually managed to reach 20 episodes so far, but hopefully there'll be many more. We've got the British Grand Prix today. I'm really looking forward to it. Second home race. Without further ado, I'm going to jump right in and see what this one's got lined up for us. Alright, so here we are then back in the workstation, getting ready for the start of first practice for this British Grand Prix. Of course, our home race. I'm going to make sure we have to do well here and get some points on the board at minimum. So yeah, hopefully it'll be an enjoyable one. Of course, if you have missed the last time I had a go at Silverstone, which only a few days ago, and I uploaded the last episode of The Prodigy, go and check that out if you haven't already. That was quite an enjoyable episode, and hopefully we'll be able to have another good episode at Silverstone here. So look at the weather forecast there. It should be dry all weekend. And of course, the big story for us is the rivalry between us and Lance Stroll coming down to the last race. Stroll sits 2 points in front, so it's going to be crucial that we beat him this weekend in order for us to take those extra points in the rivalry and get the extra acclaim to push up our driver level. And hopefully that will get us some better off some teams in the future. So we're going to jump right into free practice one. Going quick practice as always. First up, we're going to get going with the race strategy stuff. I was going to start with a 16-minute 10 guaranteed success, but decided not to. Went for the 70% success and it paid off just simply because it's less time. Go for it again. There's a durability upgrade on the line. We get it. And so we're going to have a go at this 10-minute 10 one, 50% chance of success. Do we make it? We do. So that's three good ones to get us started. So not too bad a start at all. Move on to practice 2 now. I'm going to have a go at the track acclimatization stuff. There's a powertrain upgrade or discount on the line if we can get it. First, got one off the block there. I'm gonna try and get this discount here. There we go, and that'll do us nicely. And we've got a durability discount coming as well. So there we go as well. Oh, wait, no, that's failed. So we've just missed out there. We're gonna try for these 100 resource points. Can we get them on the 25% success? We can. So that is still 3, I believe. Yep, that's 3 out of 5. So not too bad at all. And that's all we've got time for in free practice 2. So we're gonna jump into the last practice session here. We're gonna be going for qualifying pace. So we're going to try and do well here. First up, 100% of the board, 7 minutes down, and that's one target hit just like that. We'll go for this 7-minute 41, 70% chance success for another powertrain discount. We've failed that one as well, so we've got a poor start to the practice sessions here. We'll try and go for it again. We failed it twice. That's really poor from us there. We've only got 2 more left. We're going to try and go for this 50% one. Can we get this one? No, we can't. Right, so that's only 1. That's 1 out of 5. Of these practice programs in qualifying pace. Race strategy and track acclimatization though are still 3, so not too bad if being entirely honest. 400 resource points each way from myself and from Alonso, so that'll give us another 800 put on our thing. That's 1400 on the board. And there we go, our 3 discounts, 2 of them for durability and 2 of them for the same upgrade, and 1 of them on powertrain. So that's 14% and 4% off those 2 upgrades we've gained. And our driver acclaim level goes up to level 7 though, so that's good progress. And hopefully if we win the rivalry this weekend, then that'll hopefully give us a bit more to play around with. Now the messages pre-race, still going to be dry, cloudy to sunny, so we'll see the sun coming out near the end of the race. Of course, looks like we managed to gain 1 point back over Stroll in qualifying, but he's still at the edge by 1 point, so we need to beat him. We've got 5 opportunities to beat him in the way of scoring points for this thing. So without further ado, we're going to jump into the race, and hopefully we'll have a good time on our home track.
Great Britain then, one of only 2 countries to have held a Grand Prix in every single year of the Formula 1 World Championship. And the circuit extends that record further for today's Grand Prix. The 3.6 miles of the Silverstone circuit in Great Britain is hallowed ground to the Formula 1 faithful. We have 18 corners that wrap around this former World War II airbase and some good passing opportunities at the end of the DRS zones. Also here, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Can we begin by having a chat about Sergio Perez? That was a great win in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
It's always nice to come into a Grand Prix weekend on a high, but your expectations are based much more on your practice and qualifying runs. So it's the momentum from those sessions that they'll be hoping to carry into the race today.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Sergio Perez will lead us away from pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Verstappen, Hamilton, Charles Leclerc and Norris, Ricciardo, Sainz, Gasly and Cohen. Fernando Alonso, Tsunoda, Sebastian Vettel and Stroll, Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, George Russell and Mick Schumacher, Latifi and Nikita Mazepin. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
Okay, I know it's your home Grand Prix, but treat it like any other race. Don't take unnecessary risks.
Alright, so here we are then now on the grid for the start of the British Grand Prix. We're starting in P10, so we managed to get into the top 10 for the first time in a while in qualifying. I did for a second consider changing the strategy around, but then I completely forgot that the rule is if you start in the top 10, you have to start on the tyres you're qualifying on. I mean, we can't do our medium to soft strategy, so we have to stick to the regular one, going with soft to medium. I realised that midway through changing the strategy, so I had to set back to where it was normally. Turn down the fuel a little bit to make us just that little bit faster, and that's all the things we really need to do at this point. So we're going to get us going here on the grid. The 5 red lights now for the British Grand Prix, our home race. Here we go, let's do this. Lights out and we're underway. It's not the best of getaways, although that's always customary in this series now. There we go, we've lost a few places going down towards turn 1. Tsunoda's on the left hand side. I'm going to try and get the better of him. Giovinazzi briefly stuck his nose in there, but decided to back out of it. Smart decision, don't know why he was going for the first place. He got a warning for a collision with Tsunoda, going to dive the inside of both Gasly and Alonso, while Leclerc locks him in front of us there. We tried to go around on the inside of Ricciardo, we couldn't make it in. Gasly tried to put the goal bar inside. We're going to manage to get around off the corner. We're going to squeeze him a bit there, so he's fallen away. And us up into P9 on the start. The 1 place gain, not too bad after we lost 1 or 2 off the line. So going down towards the start of sector number 2 now. Round the right hander we come, running just behind Leclerc and Ricciardo, who are battling for that 7th spot in front of us. Carlos Sainz is ahead of them. And we've still got Gasly and Alonso chasing us down, trying to claim my 9th place, but not going to let him do it. We're going to try not to let him do it. So we're still chasing Leclerc as we head through Cops now. Nice and smooth, a bit wide there. Cops definitely isn't my best corner, sector 2. Well, the end of sector 2 is kind of weak for me. As there goes Gasly, going into Magnussen second. He's managed to make the move, but to back out of it big time. So we've lost a lot of time to Gasly. We've lost like half a second in the space of just 1 corner there. And now we could potentially fall prey to our teammate Fernando Alonso for that last point that we now hold dear. Down the straight we come, heading towards Stowe for the first time in this British Grand Prix. We haven't got much long to go in this first lap. Alonso still there just behind us, there's Tsunoda behind him, and I assume that's Vettel and maybe Stroll behind him. Of course, it's crucial we finish ahead of Stroll in order to get those rivalry points and win the rivalry, because we're only 1 point behind going into this thing, and a points finish should do it, and the fact we're finishing ahead of it. So right now that's all we really need to do, and we should win the rivalry. So going back to turn 1 now for the start of lap number 2, we're going to push further on to the end of lap 2 here. But Alonso still doesn't have DRS as we go down towards Stowe once more. Alonso still doesn't have DRS on us, but he's still got a very good toe down the straight. Will he try and make a move? Nope, thinks better if it stays in line. Smart move from him. He could potentially get a better rise down one of these next few straights as we move closer on now to the start of lap number 3. So push further on now to midway through lap 3. We've got a bit wide there, got off the track a bit, and go head towards Cops. Alonso could try and go on the inside there. We're wheel to wheel now. Here we go, side by side with the 2-time world champion as head into Magnussen Beckett for the 3rd time. Will Alonso back out? Yes, he does. We've run it onto the grass a little bit though, so we've lost any momentum we could have gained. We've gone a bit wide there, and once again we lost a lot of time. Alonso's going to have DRS on us now, so it's crucial. We really should have pulled away there, but it's crucial mistakes have led to Alonso having a good go at us here. Will he try and make a move? He's going to the left hand side. We're going to give him the space going to Stowe. He goes around the outside. We're going underneath him, and we're going to hold on to P10. Alonso gets back into line and make sure that Tsunoda doesn't manage to get past him, but still not too bad a start to this opening section of the race, because we did lose. We could gain a place then lose it, but we're still alright for the time being. Alonso though, he's not finished yet. There he goes on the left hand side once again, puts further onto lap 5. Alonso's managed to find his way past. He's going to dive in on the inside. There's a bit of contact there. To throw the hand up in frustration to go back around the outside. He's forced us a long way around. That's the line he's got. Got to make sure not to go into the gravel. He's gone way into the gravel there, and that's not what you want to do. And there goes Vettel on the inside as well, heading back towards Cops. There goes the German underneath us, and that's him up into P11 and us down to P12. So this has really not gone very well for us here since essentially letting Alonso through. Regardless, we're pushing on towards Magnussen Beckett now. Look, we're essentially pretty much shoving Vettel through the corners here. Look how close we are to the back of his Aston Martin. We're going to have the DRS on him though, so we're going to get our first real chance to actually make a proper overtake for the first time today. But Vettel has DRS on Alonso, so to make our job a little bit harder here. Can we manage to make a dive going into Stowe? It's going to be very, very tight here. Heading down into the corner. There we go. There's Vettel managed to push him in front of us. We'll try and go through on the inside, going into this last chicane. Here we go, underneath, there we go. On the inside, we've got the space, he can't stop us, and that's P11 secure. We're going to push further on now towards the end of lap 7. The sun's really start coming up. We've had the DRS on Alonso, we're still within that 1 second range. But at this point, we're going to have to cut off the chase, and we're going to pull into the pits for what should be our only stop of this Grand Prix. Going on to the medium tyres here. So hopefully, I mean, it doesn't look like anyone else in that little pack is coming in with us. So hopefully, on the next lap, everyone else most likely pit, and we'll have to try and chase them down, see if we can come out in front of them. It's crucial we get out in front of them to try and hold on to that points finish here as we pull into our pit stall now. The Alpine crew getting to work. The good thing about having no one coming in behind us is there should be no one holding us up on our exit. And there we go, out of the pits, and we're now down to P17, so we've still got serious work to do here. But obviously, everyone will be pitting on the next lap, so we should gain a bit of time. Leclerc and Gasly also came in front of us, but they're quite way up in the distance in the lower part of the standings. So regardless, here we go out of the pits now and back onto the racetrack. So it's going to be crucial for us here that we come out ahead of Vettel, Alonso, and everyone else behind them, moving through the last corners now. Those guys are making their way towards the pit exit. So here we go. This is the moment of truth. Can we make it down the home straight? They're all out of the pits and going up the little hill bit. Here we go now towards turn number 1. Does Alonso have the edge? No, we get him on the inside. There we go. Up into P12. And that's just secure for the time being. Of course, there are still guys ahead of us who are yet to pit. I think Vettel stayed out in the end. I think one of the Alfa Romeos may have done that as well. But regardless, we've come back in front of Alonso, and that definitely should mean we're ahead of Sebastian Vettel. Moving further on now towards the end of lap number 9. Vettel is in the pits now, so we've got to try and come out in front of him. But Alonso's on the chase, so there he goes on the left-hand side going into Stowe. Once again, we've got him on the inside, and that should be us okay for the time being. As we come towards the end of lap 9, we're still waiting on Vettel to come out of the pit lane. We're going through the last couple of corners now, back towards the line. We've only got 4 more laps left to go in this British Grand Prix. Alonso's still right there behind us. Vettel and Giovinazzi both in. It's crucial we come out ahead of Vettel so we can still get those last couple of points. Here we go through turn 1. Where is Sebastian? There he is over there. He's managed to come out just about in front of us. We're going to try and get the edge of him going into the right hand and go side by side into the corner. We've managed to squeeze him a little bit there, and that's put us back up into the points. And here's Carlos Sainz. He had an issue earlier on in the race. For those of you who missed it, I almost missed it as well, but Sainz now is just in front of us for P9, so we could potentially take 9th place in this race. We're on the DRS, going down the straight, heading back towards Luffield Rumble 1, and into the left-hander we go. We're going to try and go deep against Sainz. We don't manage to make it around the outside. We're going to try it now, but Sainz has the edge. He's going to cut across us, so it almost wipes off front wing off, and that was a bit of a questionable move there. But regardless, we're up into P9 now, and this is what we're racing for. We could get 2 points from this race instead of 1. Pushing on towards the end of lap number 10 now. Vettel's going to have the DRS on us. Going down this next straight towards Stowe. Will he try and move to the left-hand side? Yes, he does. Go wheel to wheel. Going down in towards the corner. He gets the edge. He breezes past us there. And into Stowe we go. And that is the German in front of us with P9. But it's not over yet. We could try and go for a dive on the inside. Going into the last chicane like as we so often do. There we go underneath him. Nice and clean. No worries there. And that's P9 secure. Once again, we've still got to hold on to it for another 3 more laps. So this race in no way, shape or form is over yet. On to lap 11 now, heading back towards Copse we go. Vettel's still there. We try and go for a move behind us. We've got a very good slipstream going into Copse. There we go. He's there on the inside. Does he choose to back out? Yes, he does. You get the run around the outside, and that's enough for us to hold on to place. Here he goes though. Will he try and move to the left-hand side or the right? Here we go into Maggott and Beckett's. It's going to be very, very tight here because I don't know if we're going to make a mistake or not. Got on the curve a bit too much there. Vettel may get a better exit. He's right up our gearbox and head back down the straight towards Stowe. And here comes Alonso as well. So Vettel breezes past to the right-hand side. Alonso follows him through, and that's us out to the point just like that. And we've got just over 2 laps to try and make that all back up. Or we can try and make it all back right here. We'll go around the outside of Vettel, and Alonso completely nices us there. Essentially lets us in around the outside, and that becomes the inside. Going through the chicane and through the last corner now, that is us back up into P9 in the space of just 2 corners. We've still got to hold on to this spot for 2 more laps. This race in no way, shape or form over, like I said. There goes Alonso on the left, making his way up into P9. There's a bit of contact there. Going to try to go over the curb there, try and go on the inside. That becomes the outside. Through the right hander we go, being very careful not to put the car on the gravel. Alonso tries to turn out, we turn into him, so there's more contact there. Still no damage done to our car. Here we go back towards Copse now. This is where it gets tight. Here we go. It's going to get very dicey. Alonso's on the inside, and Vettel's going to try and make it through abreast into Copse, and Vettel backs out of it, and that puts me and Alonso side by side again. We touch wheels again. The hand goes up in frustration with my guy in the cockpit. That's Matt's back out here, but Alonso backs out first. Through Maggott and Beckett we come. and that's us still up into P9, but Alonso's going to add the DRS here, so maybe him backing out may put him at an advantage here, so this could get very tense. There he goes towards Stowe once again. Alonso breezes past us, and Vettel's going to try and go for it as well. We shut him off. Will he try and go up the left hand side? He will, but he's not going to get a better run than us. Going through the corner, we're still behind Alonso here. We're up in the points. We're still behind the Spaniard. Going to push on to the last lap of the Grand Prix here. Now we're in the same position Alonso was a lap ago. We're going to get one more shot at this as Verstappen comes across the line to win the Grand Prix in front of us. That's no relevance to us now. Heading towards Stowe for the final time. To the right hand side we go wheel to wheel into the corner. Do we have enough? There we go on the inside, and that is P9 back from Alonso, and that should be all we really need to do. Come to the last couple of corners now. We've had to really fight for this one in front of the home crowd. We're going to take P9 in what has been an extremely incredible race. As the points finish to go along with it, so very, very enjoyable end to the Grand Prix. That was really, really fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Red Bull are the winners today. Verstappen duly takes the victory in front of Perez and Bottas as well. So it must have been a very exciting race up front. Verstappen, another victory to his name for this 2021 season as the Red Bull mechanics celebrate their victory there. It's Verstappen and Red Bull on top today. They thoroughly deserved it after another great race they've driven, and they're definitely giving Lewis Hamilton a hard run in the Drivers' Championship, both Verstappen and Perez. But regardless, that is the end of the race. So Verstappen wins it from Bottas in second and Perez in third. It's Norris fourth and Hamilton fifth, Ricciardo sixth, Leclerc seventh, Gasly eighth, us in ninth with Alonso in 10th. 3 Brits up in the points, but none of them on the podium today. The next time the British Grand Prix rolls around, that's something that has to change. But there's a Brit still running in third place in the Drivers' Championship. Verstappen pulling away now. He's got 13 points on Sergio Perez, and Hamilton's another 39 back. We're up into 11th now. We're now tied with Fernando Alonso in the point standing, closing in on Yuki Tsunoda, who has 11 points to his name. So he continues to try and chase down AlphaTauri in the Constructors' Championship if we can. We've still got a lot of work to do. Take a look at those Constructors' standings now. Red Bull still leading by a good 68 points to Mercedes, and it's McLaren who've jumped Ferrari in the championship. We're still running in 6th, pulling away from Aston Martin, beginning to challenge AlphaTauri. So look at the rivalry here. It looks like we have done enough to beat Lance Stroll, but only just by 1 point, and that should do it there. And that should be the end of the rivalry. The driver pen goes up. I think we should win the rivalry there because there's no more race weekends left to do. Regardless, we're now back at the Alpine team headquarters at the end of another exciting Grand Prix weekend. I've really enjoyed this one. It was definitely a lot of fun. Have a look at the R&D points. We've got just under 2k to spend, so we'll have to see what we can do with those. Have a look at some durability upgrades here, just to keep those nice and fresh. I'm going to go for 2 of them here. One of them discounted from that Turbo Improved Materials upgrade that we got discounts for in practice earlier in this episode. So now we've got, once again, have 4 more upgrades we're waiting on going into the next race weekend. And yeah, so that hopefully help us keep up with Aston Martin and AlphaTauri. And once again, a look at the rivalry. We should have done enough. It says 1 race remaining, but that's just because I've yet to finish the race weekend, technically, so yet to advance time, which we should do in just a moment. But 1 point, we have 1 point over Stroll, and that should do us for the rivalry as we move forward. And we've got a failed upgrade, which is annoying. Another one of those. Seems that we can't escape them. Episode by episode goes by and we still can't get away from them.
I know we were expecting some new developments to come through, but some of them have failed quality control. We'll need to tell a team what to redevelop via the R&D screen.
And do that we will. We'll go over to the R&D screen now, see if there's anything we can do about that. Do we have enough resource points to get to it? No, we don't. It's 984 resource points and we only have 551 left after that whole spending spree. So that's annoying, but we've got plenty of time, and that's something we have to go after in the next episodes. If you have enjoyed this one, then make sure to like the video, share it around with all your friends, and make sure to subscribe as well. Help us get closer to 1,000 subscribers. And with that, hope you have enjoyed the video, and I shall see you guys next time. Goodbye.